Somebody sound like they watching.
It was a dude that how Kerry cut out as soon as he started. Like,
Somebody watching Recording stopped. Can he join his own? Oh, I guess he can. Well, we live right now. Because YouTube tell us we live.
Yeah.
Y'all tap me, lights on.
Yeah, weird, you know.
Let me take this as a moment to say we are accepting all sponsorships. Anybody want to give us some money, you know, we'll promote your product. Shout out to LSU. Shout out, what's that girl name? Angel Reese. I love you. Keep talking your talk, baby girl.
You see how she did the...
Oh, yeah.
Miss Clark. Miss Clark was like, I scored 30. My team just didn't show up.
That's cool. You lost.
Yeah, because she was live on them other games doing it to other people. So
exactly. If you can give it out, you better be able to take it.
Yeah,
that was perfect, Kerry.
It was hurting her.
That was perfect, Kerry. You said somebody sounded like they watching. Recording stopped. I was like, oh. Ain't watching us.
I ain't watching us. That's for sure. I do that. It's been a while since I did that though. I was thinking that. I've been doing good. I've been doing real good. But we back again. What was y'all talking about?
LSU.
Who was y'all talking about? What was y'all? Oh yeah, LSU, huh? Shout out to them. Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
All right, Coach Hope.
Go Tigers.
But now y'all been seeing how all of the people on really just social media and a certain demographic of people really been trying to say no sportsmanship and blah, blah, blah. It's all the same typical stuff. But, bro, it's athletics. It's sports. I never have ever cared about sportsmanship. Like, I ain't saying be a dirty player or nothing like that. I think that's different. But if you winning, talk. It's fine to talk. It's fine to taunt. It's fine to do all of that because you earning it. If you're earning that in the moment, do it. Enjoy it. I feel about it.
Some people will say, well, you wasn't talking at the beginning of the game. You didn't give me a chance to respond. That's the same thing Michael Jordan used to always say. Hey, you're going to talk, keep it the same from beginning to end. Don't just wait to the end.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's what it is. If you talk. If you a talker, always be talking. But now you want to start talking. Like front runners and stuff like that get on my nerves. Or like people that talk and they can't back it up. They're like, shut up. Like, you ain't talking about nothing. But I mean, I think the nature of how we grew up competing, everybody was talking. Everybody was running that mouth. So it's like, everybody's running that mouth. Like, it was just common. So we see on TV, it's like, okay, like, yeah, she's saying she's too small. Like, yeah. Like, that's normal. I'm going to talk. If I'm going to play any game, bro, I'm talking head like the whole time. Like, it's for me. It's for me. It's not even for you. It literally makes me play better. Like you trash. If I beat you, you trash. Like you're not good. I'm gonna tell you you're not good because it just
even if I don't beat you, you trash. I just say
But there are things that are not sportsmanship. Like there are things that like I ain't watched the whole game. I did not watch the game, but there's certain things that like class, like things that show no class for real though. Be like not shaking somebody's hand after the game.
Yeah.
Like if you can't shake my hand, you classless, you don't understand this is a game, and you are missing the point. Especially if you do it on TV. Like you lame.
Championship games, the confetti falling. Still gonna shake hands?
100%. You got to. You're gonna wipe your tears and shake hands like a man or a woman. You got to. What you gonna walk off?
A lot of people have.
I don't trip if people do.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
LeBron did it.
Yeah, I can't trip if you do walk off in that moment, bro, because really, you don't have to congratulate me for winning. Like, I don't think that's true.
It's a game, Nate. It's a game, though. If you can't
shake hands, so emotional. It's so emotional.
It's a game. You lost a game.
But it's an emotional thing, bro.
You said you couldn't watch football for a while because you were so emotional.
Yeah, but I will if it's like my cousin. If it's my cousin, I'm gonna watch the game because it's a game. It hurt my feelings, but it's a game.
Yeah, but
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem we got is that people be making the game bigger than the game. That's the problem. These are just games. Yeah, people lose jobs and can't provide for their family and stuff like that be happening. But in reality,
just a game.
But sportsmanship, to me, sportsmanship is what allows us to have faith in the game. Because if we don't have sportsmanship, then the game is our lives. Like it's like life or death, which is not.
That's a place of maturity, but inside the game, it's different.
It feel like that. It feel like that while you're in there.
Gary, you ain't never cried after a game?
100%.
Okay.
And you wanted to shake somebody's hand while you was crying?
Nah, I wiped my tears and I went shook their hand, went back to my business. Like I personally, that's just me. That my thing is, I'm gonna close it out. Like with the game itself. Like it's different in different areas of life, doing different things. But if it's a game,
I respect that. I'm really indifferent on that one. If it's a championship game, it's the playoffs or something, and you don't shake my hand, okay, I get it. If you do, wonderful. That's cool. But it's not like this little league in high school where we line up on the 50 no more. I do that in basketball sometimes. I think they still line up on, sideline and kind of go down the line. But like college ball, it was just y'all walk across the field, you dap somebody up if you dap somebody up.
If you
More
hooping,
often than not, I might be dapped up like one person after the game and I'm walking off the field, win or lose, unless I knew somebody on the other team, because I really don't care.
Nah, I'll dap up. If you like, okay, we went across from each other and you was like busting me down, like it was like you was killing me, I'm gonna dap you up. You had a good game. Even
one
if
person I'm gonna dap up.
Yeah, I'm about to say, even if coach, you know what I'm saying? But like when we were playing, like not to go too deep into this, but when we were playing, I don't know if I when we went to lines, that's when I got everybody. So we always had that line. So I did dap everybody in the line. I never like moved my hand out the way. Like, you know how some dudes like walk by, they like wouldn't touch your hand. Like, you like, bro, like, I'll punch you right now. That's like, that's what I used to think when I used to see somebody with their hand. I'll punch you in your face, boy. Like, you want to make it like that. Like, hey, for real though, because to me, no sportsmanship means like, okay, you want smoke. But we're not about smoke on the Be Like podcast. We're about love. We're about helping people. We're about good energy. hey, but you know what? But we live in a human world, man. We live in a human world. We all have human experiences. So this is why we are likes. And the Be Like podcast mission statement is we're number one mentorship for mindset development, career essential education, and leadership cultivation. Our DNA is that we're authentic, we positive, respect all sex, race, religion, political views, and preference, because we for the people we for. And then we have a great sense of humor. We like to be funny, like to have a good time. We got to share this on our platforms. So let me give y'all the link real quick. One time for the one time. But yeah, I ain't like that though, bro. I ain't like when dudes just move their hand out the way. I'm like, all right, bro. That was a pet peeve.
That's high school though.
No, that was college. That was when I was at Hardin Simmons University, bro.
Y'all lined up. Y'all 50-yard line in college?
Yeah.
Y'all was doing so much.
And we did that. We did that when I was at Montana State too. When we did D1. We was D1 doing that.
Nah.
Yeah, we used to do that. Because I feel like, I mean, I still respect the game itself, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I rocked when I was playing the game. I rocked the game heavy. Like I did want to shout out like dudes that I saw working. I enjoyed telling dudes they did good. That was just me though.
Yeah, I was trying to get about my shoulder pads and taking my cleats off. Really,
trying to go back to the locker room.
Yeah, I was really trying to like go find a bag of ice or something. Honestly, it's like I'm done.
So, I feel you, though. I had teammates like that though. I feel you. I don't know. I like the community of sports.
Nothing, Gerald? Not one word? No comment?
Y'all know me.
He wasn't finna be happy about shaking nobody's hand after an L.
Jarrell's breaking TVs.
I wouldn't want him out there.
Y'all know me. That's why I wasn't really. I was like, I didn't know if we were going yet. So I was like, let me wait if we are. You know me. But nah, I wasn't trying to shake.
You didn't shake hands?
Mm.
Really? Man, that's crazy. So it's not normal. I almost want to do a poll now. I want to like poll people like the money. Did you shake hands? Like, was you about shaking hands? I dropped the link, by the way. Did y'all shake hands with like the, you know what I'm saying, competition?
I already put the link. When it got to the championship game, it was hard. Man, I was in the whole newspaper behind that, man. It's hard at the championship game.
It's bad blood, huh? Bad blood.
It's
not even a championship game, though. I'm not even saying like just in general, like. I mean, I get it. Championship game, you cry, you know your season's over with. All right, you may have cried your way to the locker room, but what about like normal game to game?
I guess some people have such a faith and pride or whatever in themselves and their team or the work that you put in, and just to admit that somebody was better than you.
Can't do it.
No, I don't know. It's a lot of emotion that go in at that time. And then it's right afterwards. It's just like getting beat after a game, and then these guys got to go talk to,
media.
The media. It's a lot of emotion going on at that time. It's like death. You know what I'm saying? Death is final. The end of the game is final.
Yeah.
I'm just saying at the end of the game is final. There's nothing else you can do. So you got to deal with that emotion right there. And no matter how the game went or whatever, you got to deal with it all right there at that time. And then you expect some people or the game, like Kerry said, the game says that you humble yourself and then go congratulate your opponent. It's almost like congratulate that you beat me. It's a weird feeling sometimes, Kerry. It is.
And I'd say that the playoffs is when I didn't losing in the playoffs is when I didn't want to shake hands. But
you know what it is?
My coach told me you win with class, you lose with class. I mean, we went 14. The one game we lost was in the playoffs, and I was like, I ain't shaking the hand. He was like, nah, you shook hands 14 other times. You're gonna shake hands today. I got up, and it was high school. College, no. I don't. If we didn't have to, like they said, even if we won, I wasn't going to shake. I was more like, hey, taking pictures, probably going to see people in the crowd or something. But
you ain't shaking no hands.
I don't know y'all.
That's really what it is, bro. Like, y'all not my teammates. I don't know y'all. It was a couple games in college where it's like I had dudes that I played in high school with who played on these teams. I'm going to find you after the game. I don't care about your teammates. You my boy from high school. So that's it. I dap y'all up. We can chop it up for a second, and now I got to go get these cleats off.
I think because I don't know them is more of the reason why I adapt them. Because to me, it was like, I don't know y'all. So I'm just going to dap you real quick because I don't know you. And it's like, hey, y'all won. Good job. Like, and moved on. Like, I don't know.
You also played running back. The anger that I would leave out of a game with, it's probably best that I don't go and shake your hand. I've been fighting a man for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't need to come face to face to you right now.
It's not the time. Now it's not the time. Maybe in passion if I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, welcome back to the Be Light Podcast, baby, where we do share light, but we don't shake hands. And we are back here to deliver more light, man. We are hope dealers, man. We all about shedding love, light, responsibility, and positivity on our people. It's been a little minute, so we're gonna reintroduce ourselves. So I'm here with the homies. K.Sloan.
Oh, I'm about to say you supposed to say you K.Sloan.
It's been a while.
J.Jones.
J.Jones.
It's your boy Nate G.
Boy Nate G.
And then we
I am Black History.
Hey,
we making progress.
We're making progress. He's Black History now, so he got to speak. That's good. And I like the plants are growing, bro. They hanging into the screen now.
Man, she got these plants everywhere.
And that's a sign of a good woman, brother.
Yeah,
that's what they say. They say a good woman gonna have the plants growing in the house. That's what I heard. They say he who finds a good wife finds a good thing, and he who finds a bad wife becomes a philosopher. I read that the other day.
Who said that?
Socrates.
He said that.
Apparently, he said that. It is noted. So it's real face. Look at Dave. He frozen.
Oh, that was you that froze? Everybody else was froze on my
No, that was you. You said who said that? I was like, okay. I was like, he ain't like that, huh? Yeah, but real talk, I got it from Socrates. I actually got this new video I'll be watching like on YouTube. Like it'll be running like philosopher quotes. So I'd be sitting there like in my breaks. I'd be sitting there watching them and reading them. I'd be like, oh, man, that's interesting. That's what I do. I'd be doing the most. But what y'all doing? What we got going?
I'm trying to have a baby. Just waiting.
Trying to have a baby.
Waiting. She was supposed to be here on Thursday, but they say your first one come a little bit late. So we're a few days late right now. But, you know.
She gonna be here, bro.
Long as she
Sooner than later.
the next 32 minutes. Because you're going to have to run.
Yeah, y'all should just jump up. Y'all know what's going on.
We're gonna be like, all right, Nate. That boy gonna be out of there. Get them Fred Flintstone feet going.
I'm gonna hop on the Zoom on my phone. I'm a live streaming.
With the little thing on your head.
Feel like the birth edition.
I am not watching that.
That's gonna go viral.
Mhm.
That's gonna go viral. What you got doing, Jarrell? What you got going on, man?
Busy. Getting ready for a wedding.
Yeah.
Busy. Tired.
You don't look it, brother. You don't look it.
I got a headache right now. But I'm
Really?
happy to be here. Happy to be here.
It's legit.
I've been detoxing.
What you doing with that? How you doing that?
It's coming out.
It's cranberry juice. What you doing? You doing the yeah, your girl be having you laced up though. You be doing all kind of ginger and all
that stuff and
yeah. See, I've been doing my due diligence, man. I've been trying to, what I cut out? I cut out something again recently. What did I cut?
You cut out meat until that weekend.
Bro, I gotta tell everybody this. So, all right, y'all. We went, to celebrate Jarrell and his new life transitions, now becoming a married man and everything. But I was out there, pull up to the house. They got food ready. One of Jaleesa's creations, that's one of hers, right? So she made her one of her famous dishes, got the Cajun pasta.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so hungry coming out the road from Killeen to Fort Worth that, Nate, I pull up and I'm like, man, it smells good, bro. So I'm walking in there and man, I forgot I was a pescatarian, bro. I got a whole plate, heated it up. I started eating and man, I almost finished the plate. And then I got to the end and my stomach started bubbling. And I was like, all right. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, this ain't shrimp. Oh, this different. And I looked at them, I was like, bro, I just ate some chicken, bro. I was just sitting there just like, wow. And I was surprised. I thought I was gonna be like out of there, but I was all right. So my stomach was kind of like I was just sitting there like kind of just trying to play it cool. But it was the homie. So luckily we wasn't out like and about, because if so, might have been bad.
It's tough.
Could have been bad. Could have been bad. It's been 4 months. 4 months since I touched any type of meat other than fish or seafood.
It's good though.
Yeah, it's been helping though. It's been helping, bro. It's been helping.
I ate a piece of chicken before we got on here, so
That's what I'm talking about.
it's been about 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I be eating some fritas. I be eating some fritas at Chipotle. You know what that is? Like tofu.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
No.
Hey man,
I just saw Chipotle. That's free advertising. So we'll take either free bowls or send us a check.
Either or. Free bowls would be nice, especially during lunchtime, because they be smacking at lunch.
Start with the check, man.
Yeah, the check gonna be minimal though. Every time you get a sponsorship check, it's always like not enough. You gotta do a lot of sponsorships.
Oh, what we got right now?
No, this Factory's big guy.
I ain't been on my marketing.
Probably the bowl's gonna be worth.
What'd you say, Jarrell?
Probably more than the bowl's gonna be worth if we only getting one bowl.
No, them bowls be high, bro. Them bowls be like $17.
Gary be putting double guac on his bowl.
Nah, bro. I just when you get guac and sour cream, they gonna hit you for both.
They charge you extra.
They hit you for both, bro. I be like, bro, are you serious? Like, you gonna hit me an extra $5 for a scoop of guac that I could do at the crib? Like, I could have did that in my house.
Squirt that boy.
Oh well, all right, man. We came to bring out some value so we can get to going. So let's get in on this, man. We've been digging into the laws of light recently. We're still writing our book currently, the 48 Laws of Light, and one of those laws is the law of language. And everybody, language. When I think of language, I think of the way that personally how when you use certain words, they evoke certain feelings. You know what I'm saying? I always teach my students in the English classroom, you got denotation and connotation. So denotation is dictionary definition of a word, but connotation is how the word actually makes you feel. And when you think about those definitions of each word, then it helps you use different words in different situations to basically make yourself produce different results. So like I always try to, with myself, you know, we talked about this in the past, positive affirmations, saying things about myself that I would want to come of my life, you know what I'm saying? Not saying things out loud that I don't want to see happen, you know what I'm saying? Or saying them or rephrasing terms like I'm broke to I'm in a financial transition, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Just like the way you manipulate your words can really change how you go about handling business. And I think, you know, we can start with Mr. MrliftN'Go, who has a very unique take on language, and then we can all add to our conversation on this language talk.
That goes to an extension of what you said, denotation and connotation, how you use words, even whether it be the language or the groups that we all speak in, converse in. We converse. We have a work language. We have a church language. We have a language inside the family. We might be using the actual same language, whether it be English or Spanish or whatever, Chinese, but I was talking about the language barriers that cause us to either not understand or have a better understanding to evaluate and uplift our communication with one another. And when we can evaluate and uplift the communication with one another, of course, it expands our horizon. So language creates a barrier, not just in the sense of, I don't know what language you're speaking, but language can create a barrier that if you don't overcome that language, it's like I'm a parent. If I don't overcome my language with my children, and we can't communicate in a proper way, so we can't elevate the relationship because we don't know what each other is speaking.
Yeah. And like with that being said, just going off that, and then I'll let y'all add to it, Nate and Jarrell. I think that language thing is where a lot of the older generation, the younger generation have that disconnect where it's like, you know what I'm saying? You got the older generation saying they don't listen, they just hard-headed, you know, maybe they're sensitive. You got the younger generation saying they don't understand me, they're not trying to understand me. I'm showing them things. I'm not even gonna bring it to them because they're gonna bring their rigid views. And it's just like we can't meet in the middle. But that's supposed to be the genius part of it all, is that meeting in the middle and finding a solution so we can guide each other.
And that's the barrier I'm talking about. Like everybody says communicate. Communication has a second part to it. You got to understand the communication. I mean, we can talk all day. If we don't understand what each other's talking about, it's not true communication because there's no comprehension.
Yeah. That's nice.
For sure. I think y'all dead on with it. One, you know, like on the power of your words, speak life, not death, right? Like that's always my thing is don't speak negativity into your life or over other people. You know, it's what good are you getting out of that? Really, you know, speak life, speak love. But I've always said words mean stuff. That's always been my biggest thing. Use your words correctly, use them carefully. Now I'm teaching a medical terminology course. And so for me, it's like use the language of the place that you want to be in.
Yep.
And that's not just like a physical location, like your career, different things like that. It's literally all medical terminology. These are kids who want to be nurses and doctors, right? So you have to be able to speak as you're in a hospital setting. You have to be able to speak the medical code. So if you can't use the language that you need to use, I think that's just the point that you can always go and educate yourself on. That's one of those like steps for growth and why language is important. Whether that's, you know, learning the English language for you to be an English teacher, having different, you know, things that you can tell a kid, you're not working on this properly, like you're not using your nouns, your verbs, whatever it is, but actually be able to speak the language of the environments that you want to be in. That's what it means to me.
Yes, sir. The power of the tongue, like y'all said. I always try to speak positivity. And the crazy thing about language, I used to tell my football the football players I coached, the football players I coached, because they be like, man, school's hard. And I used to always say, we just taught you a whole new language. Basically, you understand, I can say something nobody else understands, and you catch on to that. If you can catch on to a whole new language, you can do English. You know what I'm saying? You can write a paper. You can do that. So, like DeMarcus said, just knowing how to communicate, knowing how to understand each other is huge, man, because communication kind of helps you get to where you need to be. My granddad used to always tell me, basically, when we talking or when we're around men, we talk like this. When we see one woman in that room, we don't use these words, stuff like that. So it's just like y'all said, language understanding is huge, man. So
Yeah, that's real. I think that's something big that a lot of people be forgetting. Like that's something that does not get taught as much anymore, is that when there's certain people in certain rooms, you leave certain words out of your vocabulary because it doesn't warrant that. Because certain words make people feel stuff. Like you could say a certain word that you didn't mean nothing by it, but because you used it in the wrong setting, you now have changed the whole tone of the interaction between everybody. And you still trying to talk and you trying to, over intellectualize, but you lost them. You lost that group or that one person because of that word you used. And I think great orators, great speakers, smart people know that, hey, it's important that I don't use certain words or I do use certain words to get my audience or to get my people, what I'm saying, or with me on that. It's just, you got to understand them trigger words. You got to understand, that sometimes it's better not to say nothing. Sometimes it's better to say nothing because, once you string this language together, it may create a lasting impact that's going to, ripple effect. And now you got to deal with that. Maybe you're not ready to deal with that right now. So maybe you just need to keep your mouth shut. Like my mama say, you ain't got nothing good to say. Don't say nothing at all. Just go ahead, just keep your mouth shut. Because that's been me lately. My personal struggle as of late is I've been saying stuff to people and they've been saying they're offended. And it's almost like that word offended now is starting to feel like it's like a trigger word for me now. Like I don't even want to hear people say it because everybody's offended. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets offended by so much. It's like I can't say nothing to y'all. Some people I got in my life, I feel like, bro, they tell me stuff and I just listen. I'll be like, I know, what you're gonna get from me. I'm gonna tell you the truth. From me. This is my truth to you. Now you may not want that, but I've understood that with language and how it works for me, sometimes it cuts. Hey, I'm gonna preface it before I talk to you if I know it's gonna be something that may cut you. And that's coming from, being aware of the type of language I use, how I move with it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important.
Code switching is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a very important skill to have in life. Like like you were saying, if it's women in the room, if it's kids in the room, there's certain words you're not gonna say. That's in everything. If you in the boardroom, if you, at a church meeting, whatever it is, you have different environments where you have to be able to switch it up. You can't always be one person, right? Like you're yourself, but you wear different hats. So I think that's a very important skill to make it through life.
Read the room. Read the room.
Yeah, read the room. Fill it out. Some people can't read the room. That's the problem. Some people just don't be reading the room. And then they get mad and you be like, yo.
Well, language embodies, volume, pitch, tone, how you convey that message that you're trying to convey. And like Carrie, to back to what Carrie was saying, sometimes it's better not to say anything. And we should all listen more, but sometimes it's better not to say anything because one thing I have learned is two things that you can't get back in life that I've been taught. And that's time and that's the spoken word. And once you speak it out, it's out there. You can apologize for it. Like I sometimes I hate when certain people apologize for something that they meant because it's already out there. So like you were saying, if it's not positive or you're not ready to battle for it, then just keep it to yourself because once it's out there, you're not getting it back. And that's gonna start a whole nother room full of miscommunication if it's not right.
That's why it's so hard for people that think out loud to go through this communicating sometimes. Like people that like to think out loud, you got to be aware that once you say it, like DeMarcus just said, it's out there. Like you may have just been thinking through it, but now you may have somebody that might call you dumb for saying what you said. And you gotta take it as like I think through what so I talk through my thoughts. That's okay. I'm cool with that. And usually I think people like that, they got a type of personality that can take it. But there's a lot of people that don't, and they're sensitive, and it's like you gotta know, like, once you say it, back it up. Once you post it, once you tweet it, that's you. You know what I'm saying? Once you retweet it, once you reshare it, that's you. They hit Kyrie with resharing just a link to a movie, or it was a series, a movie, and
It was just
I
a
think
move.
just a movie, yeah. And then they try to cancel Kyrie and make him do a whole bunch of backflips behind just a link he posted. You feel me? That's his language, though. That's all of our language on social media. It's a part of who we are. So, and he stood on what he posted. I mean, but some people are not ready to do that. So, it's just important to know language is definitely critical. That's why we wanted to bring that to laws. And then, if you brothers is all right, I would like to transition to the next law, which we had put as the law of, if my mouse get his mind right, the law of money, getting it and keeping it. And I think when we're talking about this, making money is required. You know what I'm saying? Out here, we are in a capitalistic economy, society. You got to make the money, and we all have different strategies and thoughts behind how to get money, keep money. We all fall into a class where we're not struggling. We all got businesses. We all are cultivating our own personal economies, as well as operating within our social constructs. And guys, what's y'all's thoughts? You know what I'm saying? I'll start out, because when I initially did my research on this, I said that getting to the money is something that a lot of individuals focus their energy on. Without money, you take yourself out of an advantageous position in this economy, and this is why it's important to determine what you do for money, because purpose will start. Excuse me. Does your purpose serve you by making extra cash? And then these type of questions, like, need to guide your money making compass. And there are a lot of ways to make money. If you choose one, the hardest part about it all is really keeping that money. And I think, that's where, when I think about my friends, my family, my peers, and associates, a lot of people's struggles come from not having it. You know what I'm saying? Just not having it, it'll make a evil person real quick. You feel me? Like it'll make a monster out of you if you just broke. You know what I'm saying? People just struggling. So I think this conversation is important, and I love for you guys to add to it. You know what I'm saying? Just what y'all think. For me, I have no problems with if I'm falling on hard times. You know what I'm saying? Going and getting a lawnmower and going, on the block and being like, hey, like, y'all need your grass cut. I see you ain't cut it in a minute, and cut their grass for $30. For real, like, I'll do that. Like, if I really had to do that, I'll do that. Or, I'm a trainer, so I started posting my stuff on social media to bring awareness about me being a trainer again, so I can pick up some clients and make a quick little, $250 a month. I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? And I just kind of want to let people know that you can't have a problem with going and getting out the mud if you got to, because there's a good chance you may lose your job, you may lose your cash cow, and you need to know, what is it that I can do to basically create money, especially when, like, Nate, you mentioned earlier, the dollar is devaluing in America. So we losing value on the dollar. And it's like almost where just you got to figure out a way. What's your resource? What's inside of you to be able to create value? So what's y'all's thoughts on that, man?
You're your resource, man. I think you hit it on the head. Get it out the mud, bro. Like, I hear a lot of talk about passive income, and I think that's a wonderful thing, but have some form of active income, something that you can get active doing and go and make you some money when you need to. Have a skill, really have a tangible skill or a service that you can provide. I think that's the biggest thing, whether that's, like you said, cutting the grass, being a trainer. Like with me, I do the stretching thing on the side. It's whatever it is that you can go and actually hustle up on your own. So it's real simple to me. Always be able to provide something. If you provide, people got to pay. So that's simple.
Yeah. And then like you said, Nate, these days you can DoorDash and Grubhub, and man, I know it's gas money, but you're making a little bit of money too. So anytime you feel like you're short on money or need an extra resource, like Kerry said, I will go cut some grass. I mean, when I was in Abilene, that's all I did. So cut grass, like Nate said, get a service or DoorDash, or Amazon. You know, it's ways out here to go get it. But also when you do get it, I was gonna say, you find a way to make your money work for you too. So like mine is stocks. I know a lot of people just put money in savings, but like y'all just said, the value of the dollar is dropping. So you might save up to $5,000, but in 10 years, that $5,000 is not worth 5,000. You know, so try to make your money work for you. Try to make your money double. Find ways to stocks or crypto or whatever. I know a lot of people doing different things now. So try to find a way to invest it, make it grow. So that's my take on it.
Like Gerald said, a penny saved is still a penny saved. So it is cool to save it. I mean, if you don't have a plan for your money once you get it. What everybody is talking about is monetize. And for those who don't know what monetize is, go look it up. Like learn how to monetize. Find something that you can convert into a currency. Whatever service that is. I mean, people will pay you to talk to them. Look at OnlyFans. They got people will pay you just to look at your feet. Like
Walk the dog. No, real talk.
I'm serious. Like find a way to monetize something. Like
the way he said it. It's the way he did it. Just look at your feet. Just look at your feet.
Carrie, my son just taught me yesterday that there's another site. I don't even know. Don't make me call him in. There's another site where people post their feet, pictures of their feet, and they will pay for the pictures. You find a way to monetize whatever you got.
Y'all need to find God.
Y'all need to find God. The church is this way, brothers and sisters. The church is this way.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm gonna start hitting that Kanye every time. Where is God in this conversation?
Nate, people have found ways to monetize God too. I mean,
no, hope dealers. They're the real hope dealers. The real hope dealers. Yeah,
maybe making a good little check.
Yeah.
I'm in the church. I'm in the ministry, right? And there's a business side to it too. Like, hey, yes, we have to build a social media platform. We have to build an outreach platform. We want to bring in charity so that we can monetize and turn around and do what we need to do for it. So it's the business form of it. Another thing that I was taught that I didn't catch till I was older is don't run after money, have money run for you. Mm-hmm. Have your money work for you. We live in a capitalistic society, like Carrie said, but there are so many ideas and ideals that we learn that are not beneficial to us. Me and my wife were just talking about this. We got a kid going to college. I'm downsized. We don't need all this house. We don't need all this room. We want it, so that we can say we have a big house and we can have parties. How many parties we done had this week? How many parties we done had this year? But society tells us, go get a big house, have all this room so that we can say that we can brag the big car, the nice car, the new car that devalues as soon as you drive it off the lot. You gotta have a plan for your money, but we don't plan for our money. And the U.S., especially the U.S., will teach us to live check to check and live above your means. Because like y'all are talking about, when you lose all that and you don't have a plan for your money and yet you don't know how to monetize any skill that you have, then you're caught into this thing that we call the struggle. And when you're in the struggle, I know y'all just heard Gary talk about it. When you're in the struggle and you don't have money, it will bring the ugliest side of whoever out.
Demon time.
Now you're in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you care about nothing. Just survive.
Especially when you're in survival mode for you and your family.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Yeah. That's irresponsible. I mean, to be
for $5 on the internet.
Yeah, you out here showing your feet. You out here losing your self-respect.
Hey, I got some money saving. I might. What website is that, brother?
I'm gonna get a pedicure right now. No, man. I think that's irresponsible, though, man. I think we gotta take responsibility on ourselves and encourage one another to be able to go and create that currency like DeMarcus is talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, we put up your partners and put your family on opportunities to make some money, because there's, the other part of this is when you get in a position where you are all right and you're doing pretty good, don't try to hide the opportunities away from people because you think that's going to bring you more money. I hear that so often. That is a very ignorant thought. I feel like that's nowhere in history is it shown that a lack of collaboration makes you money. Like there's nowhere where you can see that. Everybody that makes money collaborates. And that's something that we got to get away from, especially Black folks. We got to get away from thinking that, you know what I'm saying, not doing stuff together and doing it on our own. I'm going to go make my bread. I'm going to go open my barbershop and cut heads. And it's only going to be with the people I want to cut heads with. No, like you need to cut everybody's hair. You trying to make money, you should be cutting everyone's hair. Find a way. Really, if you're trying to make money. What you say?
No, because money ain't prejudice. Money will go to anybody.
Exactly. And that's why all our money be going out, because we be just spending it. And we have a plan for it. And I think that's something that we got to start changing the conversation to, which I think it is changing too, but you know, it takes that reoccurring conversation. And that's why I love that we have these conversations, that we write in this book and we expand these principles, because it's important to encourage it, is that we got to collaborate. We got to keep finding ways to facilitate, you know, wealth creation, like facilitate keeping our money and making it work for us and living comfortably so that our kids ain't got to be out here running. As soon as they become grown men and women, they running wherever the bag at. Like, let's let them think so they can become adults and then they get to think now. Like I'm not gonna, my parents did great. I think my parents, they had a home, they helped me get into college. They did a lot more than their parents did for them. But I was still running because there were certain things I just didn't know. Like I didn't know how to go get no money. Like I was like, I had like a couple of options. Main one being the NFL that I was looking at. And when that fell through, I was running. I was immediately on the chase for the bag. And I think that's not a place where you want to be as a young man or woman. You want to be in a place of passion, you know what I'm saying? Looking for your gift, looking where it's seeing where you fit in a bigger scheme or something. I think that's the more healthy individuals out here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe y'all could, what's your thoughts on that?
That's 100%. I know some people of other ethnicities. Golly, I can't even say it.
You got it, bro.
That ain't other ethnicities. They were staying with their parents until they were like 28, but they wasn't spending no money on bills, no money on rent, like just saving, stacking. And working at Lowe's and telling me they had, I think he said he had up to close to $30,000. So when he leaves, he ain't running. He walking. He can do what he wants to do. Go get any apartment or go put down on a house, or his car was decent, but he didn't care about a new car, you know? So he was like, man, when I leave the house, I'm gonna spend this $30,000 how I need to spend it. Well, that's where he was at. I don't know where he got up to because I left Lowe's before he did, but yeah, they know how to set their kids up to walk instead of run, to kind of pace on a better pace than we do. Because when we leave the house at 18, like you said, not knowing how to make money, I'm just trying to hit the first thing. Look, just paying $10 an hour. Let me get on that. That sounds like a lot of money right now because I don't have anything. So yeah.
And if you ain't got it, I think if you raising kids and you ain't got it, I think the most valuable thing you can give your kids is a skill set. That's you know what I'm saying, to this conversation is like, you know, some people be like, man, I ain't got it right now. So like what I'm supposed to do? Well, teach your kids how to do, like you learn something and then teach your kids how to do that thing and work hard at it. And that's a lot. That's a lot to give a youngster. My daughter told me, I was so proud yesterday. She told me, she said, Dad, I went to the park and we made her coloring book, you know what I'm saying, last year. So she made her little coloring book with Canva and everything. But she's like, Dad, I went to the park and I sold my coloring book to this little kid and her mom. I was like, that's dope, man. I was like, you over here selling your book. She made $5. I mean, ain't a lot. But I mean, she's 10 years old. She understands. She got that spirit, but she's a saleswoman. Like she'll sell anything. So I know that if I'm gone one day, Kaden's not gonna be tripping on selling something to go get some money. Like I know that, and that kind of makes me a little bit more at peace at that aspect. You know what I'm saying, of what I've done for her, because I've tried to incorporate that in her mindset. That, you know, if you ain't got it, there's something of value that you got that somebody might want. So not your daggone feet. She better not start putting her feet on it. We gonna try to make sure she ain't got to sell no feet pics. But if you do though,
but I do. I would
reinvest your money. Invest in you, y'all. Invest in you.
Invest in you.
We gotta understand too. I wanted to branch off and say this, but we gotta understand too that this is a lie It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Nobody's self-made. We all want to brag about being self-made, being the first one to get it. Like you said, Kerry, I'm going to go get this bag and doing this. Nobody's self-made. We all need help. If we can go together, this is one thing that Gerald and his friends taught me. I used to pay for everything myself. Or, my friends didn't have it. I would pay their way, right? And it was just hurting me because I wasn't teaching them how to go get it. I would bring them along, and it was that slave master syndrome because it's like, I'm the one got the money. Y'all gonna do what I do. Or y'all gonna do what I want y'all to do. But you also had a better time when everybody knows, hey, we can go here. If you got this, you got this, you got this, we can all go have a better time because I didn't always have a great time. Or I was doing it by myself. Have a great time. We can all experience, and then we can even flourish and teach others or bring, like you said, carry the kids along and say, hey, me, my partner, and this, we all did this and built this together. Go get your friends and go build something together because you can go 100 miles farther.
Much faster too. Much faster.
Oh, yes, of course. Travel a whole lot farther. You can build a whole lot farther if everybody, with my wife's family, they brought up a thing like, hey, man, instead of taking your income tax, can we take a third of everybody's income tax? Take $1,000 for everybody. Every household put in a trust. Put $1,000 in a trust. And
Now you're talking.
then we plan 10 years from now. And everybody's like, well, what if I die? What if I do this? Don't worry about that. Let's all put it in this trust. And in 10 years, let's manifest this trust so that if it manifests 13%, 23%, 6%, whatever, and it's compound interest, ain't nobody working for it. We're using our excess money to put in there. 10 years from now, you can put your kid through school. You can pay off your car. You can pay off this, or you can put this money and reinvest it somewhere else. And we all put it together. And I said, let's do it. Let's go find somebody legal. Let's put it down on paper. Let's do it. And everybody start pulling back. I don't know. I don't do this. I don't do that. Because everybody wants to hold on and hoard their own money. If we all actually do it and put it together, man, I don't care if you do that. I'll give it to your kids. You ain't giving nothing to your kids. I'll give it to your kids. I'll give it to your spouse. We'll pay for your funeral and plus. We don't want to do that. Like Gerald was saying, he stayed with his parents till he's 30. We like at 18, you got to get out.
Because guess what? When you ain't got no plan for your money and you die, your kids gonna be fighting over your money. And you know what I'm saying? There gonna be other people that's gonna say, well, he said he's gonna give me this. She said she gonna give me this. Now you got all these people fighting over your funds and your coins, when in reality, you knew what you wanted to do with it, but you was just holding it and working the whole time. And that's the thing that people gotta get, in their skulls, is that you will go one day. And you gotta think long game with this bread. Like this money is a long game thing. And Dr. Bob J.Jones actually taught me that. Dr. Bob taught me that when he's the one that brought us on at the counseling program out there at Hart Simmons, RIP. He told me that, exactly what you're saying, DeMarcus, the trust. He said he had a trust with like 4 of the guys that he went to school with. Their money was compounding and growing, and they was putting other kids through school. They give out scholarships every year. I think they still do. And his family was set off of things like that, just the collaboration piece. So I think the biggest thing is when you're trying to keep some money is put it in a pot with other people.
Yes.
We got to shift our mindset, bro. Because if we say, hey, let's put it on the section for the weekend, let's go get a bottle of something.
Everybody.
I got 50 on, I got whatever. We can make our money work in different ways. Stop being the consumer so much. That's really the thing. Like, I don't know that everybody can truly become what is consumed. So I don't really want to say it from that sense. But if you can consciously stop being so much of a consumer, shift your focus with that money, that's when you start making these kind of changes at, man.
100. So, we built on that. And if y'all wanted the in-depth version, go ahead and cop the book when it drops, because we're going to be giving y'all some in-depth breakdowns and ideas that we got. But shifting the focus a little bit so we can go into law of preservation, or don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. Not making bad decisions. Self-preservation is important. The application process, let's say this, right? Let's kind of clarify what being dumb is. So somebody put this on here. I don't know who put this on here, but it says dumb is temporarily unable or unwilling versus ignorant being the lacking of knowledge or awareness. So when you talk about being dumb, it's you know better, but you don't do better, right? Versus your ignorant person who just doesn't know. We had a training the other day, bro. I was in the school. We had a writing workshop, and the trainer. I don't want to mess the story up, but the trainer basically gave us a short story, and it was about fallow fields, and the word fallow means like without, fruitful, not bearing. So the fields are bare. It's like a bare season, and she had us read this text, and she said, if you ever in fallow fields, or if you ever feel like you're in fallow fields, then write down what it feels like to be in fallow fields. Just list it in order. And I was, she gave us like 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to list what it feels like because right now I'm not in fallow fields. And going back to language, I'm like, I don't even want to talk like I'm gonna be without and lacking. So I was like, okay, I will tell you what I think being fallow and being without feels like. So I started writing, bro, and I put down bare, I put down new, I put down fresh, and I put down ignorant. And when they asked us to read our stuff, and I said ignorant, she looked at me and she's like, "That's an interesting word. Why'd you choose to use that word? It feels a lot different than the other words." And I think she felt attacked a little bit, and I was just like, "All right, look." I was like, I said ignorant because I feel like sometimes, when you look in a bare field situation in your life without, you missing whatever you need at life at that time, I think it comes from being ignorant, and it's because you just don't know. It's like the unknown. So you blind and you moving around, you don't know what's to come. And I actually wish at times that I was ignorant, because once you know, sometimes it hurts to know. Because you can't, once you know something, your mind is stretched to that point, you can't never go back. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things I've learned and heard that I can't unhear. I can't unsee some of these things. And it's tainted my view, which is why certain kids, I feel like, you looking at kids, they have the world at their fingertips. Like their imaginations are insane because they haven't seen as much as us. When you get a little older, that experience start like teaching you, like, bro, like I gotta watch out for this. I gotta make sure I'm not doing this because I done seen this happen to her, him, her. Like it kind of taints you a little bit, but it gives you wisdom. So I think it's a twofold thing. And when you talk about law of self-preservation, I feel like that goes into like discernment, you know what I'm saying? And just that wisdom and preserving self, making it here longer. Like, what's your thoughts on that, man? Like, and I lobby this over to Nate, because Nate, I feel like, is very big on people not making dumb decisions in general. He loves that word. So, I mean, what's your thoughts on it, bro? And then we can piggyback off Nate.
For me, man, it's always, what do I have to lose? That's my biggest thing that keeps me from doing something dumb. If I can make a choice that will cost me something that I deem valuable, it's not worth it. Like, unless you can tell me I'm really gambling on myself or something, and there's a chance for such a great reward, but I have to be willing to give something up, I think that's a different situation. But just doing general dumb stuff, it's what can I lose? I saw a video today. My wife showed me a video on social media. A lady attempted to rob an old lady. Robbery goes wrong. She hopped in the car. One, I don't know how she ran into a wall. Ran into the wall of the building. Instead of just saying, you know what? I've already screwed up. I tried to rob this lady. Let me pull up out the parking lot. Hits a wall. Backs into another car. Hits like 5 or 6 other cars. Ends up getting tackled by a group of dudes. You're going to jail.
You're going to jail
because you're stupid.
But
it's because you're compounding your bad, dumb decisions. And I don't understand that. I think part of it is it's got to be something like fight. Even the wife said this earlier. It's like fight or flight, and you get stuck in no longer thinking and making actual decisions. If that's what it is, I can't tell you how to get past that, other than cut it off when you have the initial thought of, man, I'm finna go hit a lick on this old lady. Okay, but what if it doesn't work? You're going to jail. That's my thing. It's always, what is the negative outcome? And negative outcomes, I feel like, should deter you. This is why we have punishment. This is why kids get spankings, all kind of stuff, right? Because you have to learn it's not going to go good for you. It's really that simple for me. It's nothing else. I'm not smarter than nobody else. None of that, bro. It is, I'm scared to go to jail. I'm scared to be broke. I'm scared to do whatever stupid. I'm scared for my mama to be disappointed in me. All kind of stuff. Like whatever it is that's gonna say, man, really negative outcome. Okay, I ain't gonna do that. Cool. Might seem fun, but and I might die because I did that. It's not worth it.
Yeah. You know, the risk reward scale, that's where people be getting jacked up. That's where you start to get on that dumb side. Like if you know the risk reward scale is not tipping evenly, at least close, like, you know, high risk, high reward, okay. Like, I'm not going to say I'm always doing those situations, makes sense. But low reward, really high risk,
Probably
you
not
get
gonna
in
do it.
the red. You get in the red, brother. You might want
And
to
that's
make
how a lot
a
of
difference.
people live, bro. It be like, and it is extremely high risk for like a +1 reward. You finna take a -10 hit and get one step ahead. For what?
Yeah. Because they think that they're not gonna take the hit though. And that's like the gamblers, like the heavy gambler mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hit though. I'm a hit though. Like I know how to make it. Like they don't get it, but I get it. It's like the competitor.
But you know what? I like that you use gambling because I follow like a lot of the like whatever BR sports books and all that stuff on Instagram. And you see people who go out there and throw 300,000 on one game and they lose it. You know how far up you gotta be to do something like that? That's risk assessment. And you have to have risk assessment. If I can say, look, I might put 30 on the game, and I'll be sitting there like, man, should I do that? That's kind of dumb, but it might hit for 3 racks. Okay, cool. I can live without the 30. Somebody who can do 300K on the game, we not living the same kind of life. Your risk assessment is different.
Yeah.
Right? What Hov said in that song, I could lose 20 million and not even whatever number he put in that song. Like, come on. He said, unlike Hammer, I lost 30 million didn't hurt me. That's not your life. It hurt him. He ain't got it back.
That's why you gotta choose your friends. Because you gotta choose your friends wisely and purposely. Because if you choose the wrong friends that got it and you ain't got it, oh yeah, you be out here down bad, boy. You be out here down bad. Yeah.
Y'all trying to rent the yacht? No, I can't do that. Y'all have fun.
Yeah. Y'all enjoy that.
Y'all bring me on the yacht. I might bring a bottle to the yacht, but I'm not renting the yacht.
I'm not renting the yacht. You're not renting the yacht, man.
I'll bring the appetizer tray.
Right. And be done. But that's real. And I think a lot of young people, whatever, however old people, I think we need to be reality tested a lot. A lot of my clients, I use reality tests. Like, hey, if you did that, this could happen. If you do that, this might happen. And sometimes, you know, they look at the, what if it doesn't? Like, what if I do go rob a bank and nobody catches me? Like, that's probably 10%, not even 10, probably a 5%, less than 5% chance. So you're going to be that 5%. Why are you smarter than the 95% of people on this earth? You know? Because if it was that easy, we would all be robbing banks. We would all be millionaires. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people just don't have that reality. It's almost like, I'm not going to get caught. I can do it. So they do it. And then obviously they usually get caught. Like this lady, I saw the video, Nate. She
Bro, that was wild. Like, I mean, continue to compound and make it worse.
Almost ran over people before she ran over car. Like she would have killed 2 or 3 people if they didn't move out of the way. It was bad. So, like you said, I mean, you robbed a lady, you might go to, you know, took her purse, you might go to jail for, I don't know, maybe 6 months to a year. You just added about years to
whatever. But how much
said.
money did she have in the purse that you took?
I don't even see. That's the thing.
It could have been a Birkin bag. It wasn't worth it. Because if I see a video and I'm the prosecutor, 10 to 15.
Easy up.
I'm going to give you as much as I can.
Yeah, I gotta give you, because you're a detriment to yourself at this point. Like, you can't even
But you know, I want to go off of what Jarrell said though. My question is, where do people get this sense of exceptionalism? I don't know if it's a thing of self-doubt for me necessarily, but I've never had a sense of exceptionalism. I don't think I'm
What do
special.
you? Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you what you mean
I
by
do
that.
not think that I'm a special person. I don't think, like you said, oh, I'm gonna be the one who don't get caught robbing the bank. No, I think I'm gonna be the one who get caught before I even walk in the bank. That's why I'm not gonna go do it. It's dumb. It doesn't seem right. I don't understand that mindset of, oh, but it ain't gonna be me. This is always what I say about crackheads. Y'all saw movies about crack in the 80s. Y'all done seen crackheads on the street, but you still decided, I'm gonna smoke a little crack and that's not gonna be me. I don't understand that.
I think some of it, and this is about to be some dark psychology, so just bear with me. I think some of it comes from, like, I always like to think about the competitors. Like, I always think about those people when I think about stuff like this, and the people that like to win at all costs. Like, they believe no matter what they can win. Which is, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm out of that range of people, because I feel like in most situations I could give enough effort to win in most situations, but the rationale in it, Nate, is that I don't think I can win in every situation. Like, I'm well aware of when the odds are stacked against me. So I feel like you got some people that really, like, they just want the dub. Like, they just like, I got this. Like I can do this. Like, good and bad. You got good things. They're like, I can make this situation better for me, or I can do these drugs and I can be okay. It's like, yo, there's a time and a place for that. And I think it's important to have guidance and mentors and people to say, hey, that's dumb. Like, that's dumb. Wisdom comes in counsel. You need to hear that that's dumb sometimes, so you can sit back and not combat it, challenge your logic, really break down your logic. Does this really connect in all the areas that you think it does? Or is your ego trying to tell you something that doesn't make a lot of sense?
And I think, like we were talking about survival, some of these people don't know that they're at the bottom. Some people might be like in a low income apartment or low income housing and think that they're at the bottom. They still have housing. They probably get food stamps, but they're probably like, oh, I need to go rob and steal. You surviving. You're actually surviving.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
You're doing all right, actually, in the grand scheme of things. So I think some people use excuses like that, like, oh man, I needed it. You know what I'm saying? I needed that money. But it's like, nah, you could have done other things. You could have tried smarter
You could
ways
have
to get
sold
that.
your feet on the internet before you tried to rob that. Like,
So sell your feet, please.
But that goes back to exposure, though. I think it's important to be around people that are doing things like that, because let's say 6 out of 7 of your friends is doing similar things, thinking similar things. Y'all sitting down having a beer, talking about dumb stuff on a consistent basis. Eventually, it's gonna start to become real for you.
We can do this.
We could really do this, and now y'all all sitting there.
The police ain't outside at 4:00, and we need to do it like at 4 a.m. Ain't nobody gonna see.
Yep, Monday at 10, y'all all got your mugshots all in the paper, and now you embarrassing everybody because y'all are just dumb. I mean, and it's not the end of the world for us making dumb decisions. And we all do make decisions that don't really make a lot of sense, but I think ignorance, it starts with the ignorance. Learn where your ignorance lies. Like, what are you without knowledge on? Like, where are you missing that piece that could help you get past where you are right now, and find out where to get that information. And you gotta do some real self-awareness, searching within self, not comparison. Like DeMarcus just said, he said comparison is the death of joy. I've also heard it's a thief of joy. So yeah, looking at other people and saying you want something doesn't really help you, but it does help to be able to have people around that, you have a model. You at least have what greatness or fruitfulness or prosperity looks like to you in your circle, and it's important.
I don't think that's necessarily a comparison.
All right, talk to me.
Get confused with comparison. Like you said, that's a model. It's not comparing. I'm not comparing myself to it. It's something that I may want to evolve into or something that I can grab knowledge from to lead my steps to a path that I'm trying to go. Comparison is I'm here and I'm looking at you in a form of envy. I'm comparing my life to your life, and I don't want to take them steps that you took, but I want what you have. That's the depth of the joy that I have at this state, because I'm looking at Jay-Z and I want what he has, and I get to it like we talk about, like y'all were talking about. I get too emotional. I go over here with these guys. I'm like, I don't know how to get to $1 billion, but I know this bank over here got $1 billion, which they don't. But I'm on an emotional
Clearly.
high. And if I get fuel for my emotional high, then I go into what Nate was talking about, and I make an even dumber decisions, compounded on dumber decisions, all off of emotional high. Then when the facts start setting in and the police arrest you, or this thing doesn't evolve like you want it to evolve, or just saturates itself to a point to where it was all stupid from the get-go. Now you're stuck in the factual state, and you're back into survival mode, the bottom, whatever you want to be at, because of that emotional high. It's coming back down. It's an emotional high. You're coming back down. And it's good to have people in your life to say, that's dumb. That's not going to work. There's no way you're going to get past that. They used to be an old juvenile, so I forget the lyrics, but they had a lot of people thinking that, hey, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it at 4 o'clock in the morning because the police are doing a switch, or the police aren't working, or whatever they had people doing. There's a lot of people, hey, my brother's a cop, man. There's a lot of people in jail just off of that song, man, because they're like, I'm going to do it at this time.
They trying to do the switch. They do the switch, and we good. Hey, we got 15 minutes. Let's go. Let's get it.
I swear I'm trying to be nice. This is why I tell people, stop being so stupid, bro. Like, it's dumb. Stop making stupid choices.
Even if that was true, there's cameras everywhere now. If the cops are sleeping, if the cops are off task for 15 minutes, somebody gonna catch you. And all it takes is one video.
But they gonna get you when they wake up. They go, oh, look at that. Somebody stole the bank. Let's go ahead. Let's go get them, boys.
Yeah. Let's go get some donuts and go ride out. That's why the donut store open at 4 a.m. for the switch, the pop switch.
Well, it's I mean, I guess then that's something I think about with like my bosses, like how like I've always evaluated who I work for. Like, if my bosses can't take logic, like if you can't take a true fact and admit that maybe that goes against what we're doing, you know what I'm saying, at this time, if your ego's too big for that, I don't want to work for you no more. I think I've been in a couple situations where I had bosses that could not take, reality. They just could not eat it because it wasn't a part of the plan they created. And that's another form of being dumb, guys. Like if you are in charge of people and the people tell you something, because I mean you're at the front because your expertise is trusted. But if you're at the forefront, you can't listen to the people. And you're not for the people because you can't take the logic from the people because you don't understand that your purpose is supposed to serve the people. So now you're trying to serve yourself. You're doing dumb stuff too. We gotta really take logic for what it is. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Certain things are just facts. The truth can be manipulated. You know what I'm saying? Truth can be manipulated, but you got to know what the facts are to be able to create a story that makes the most sense at the time and then act in a way that makes, the most sense rationally. And don't take yourself off the earth quicker. You know what I'm saying? Us men, we gotta, if you look at men versus women, our life expectancy is considerably lower because of things like this.
There's a whole page called Why Men Die Earlier or Why Men Die Faster or something like that.
It's because of this.
Nothing but dudes doing idiotic stuff that will kill you.
Yeah, and our women, they be just looking at us like, that was stupid, right? That's why they always say, like, without me, you'd be different, because it low key be true. So let's do better. Let's all do better, right? Let's all do better. Awareness is key.
Listen to the voice in your head that calls you an idiot sometimes, because he's right.
Sometimes. Or at least, and if he's not like all the way right, at least he has a reason for saying what he's saying.
Yeah, to keep you alive, to keep you out of jail.
Yeah, but see, the flip side of it though is that could also be negative, Nate, because that there's a survival mechanism in our head that's trying to keep us safe, but it keeps us from taking risks though. And sometimes you gotta take risks to win. You gotta take risks to win. What's up? Talk
Calculate
to
your
me.
risks. Weigh it out. That's all I'm asking y'all to do. If you have a plan for your risk, that is not what I'm talking about. If you can tell me I have a 1 to 5 risk reward ratio, go for it. Cool. I'm not tripping on that. But if it's a 5 to 1, you're an idiot. That doesn't make sense.
DeMarcus is about to say something though. What you about to say? You didn't agree.
No. I read stuff, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't look at authors. I just like reading content. But I read there's always a blip. It's always a blip. So if you've learned in a conventional way and you don't have any disabilities or whatever, there's always a blip. And it goes to your moral compass, what you've learned at work, right versus wrong, everything. There's always a blip. At any point to where you're making a decision, there's always a blip that stops you. And like you said, like, is your brain's telling you don't do that, or your brain's saying that's stupid, or it's saying to go on and go forth, whatever, something, or you feel a passion in your heart that says, I'm supposed to do that. There's always a blip. They even I read it in a marriage book, nonetheless, because it was talking about infidelity, and they said that nobody can say that they didn't know unless they were completely oblivious and they just got seduced under some type of mechanism. But there's always a blip. Some blips are short, some blips are long. You may be in a situation, hey, right hand to the man, I've been there. You may be in a situation and it's like, oh, whoa, I didn't know that's what that was. I didn't know that's what you were trying to get to. It's always a blip that stops you. And wherever you take that blip, but there's always a blip.
You go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. That's all.
I would redefine that blip in my mind for what I call it is intuition. I feel like that's
they use the word blip because they said it could be
that's the moment.
A moment, yes. It could be a split of a second, or it can last longer than a split of a second, because they're saying there's always something that will stop you. It's always, and it's mental. It's not physical. It's mental. It's something that will stop you just for a second, and you but wait, you know what I'm saying? We see it in the movies. We see it in real life. We see it even in sports. You think about something, and it's like, I shouldn't have done that. Whether you had that blip, but it may have moved too fast for you or not. You had it, but you decided either to ignore it, move past it, or not really realize it in the moment.
I feel like you can extend the blip if you take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like and I say that by saying like more healthy people can identify that feeling, which I feel like is tied to intuition. People that, you know what I'm saying, you have a spiritual foundation, you drink water, you got a good diet, because I feel like that stuff's tied to your stomach, your gut health. When you're talking about intuition, you're talking about that blip, you're talking about noticing things, being aware. Like, bro, I'm telling y'all, man, since my diet changed, I notice a lot more. And there's certain things I just stop myself from doing. Like, I'd be like you said, like that blip, it's not, it used to be quick, but now that joint be kind of dragging a little bit. I'd be like, yeah. And then I start thinking, I'd be like, yeah, we good on that one. We good on that one.
My blip has a name, 2 names.
What's his name?
Rhonda Spiller and Nathaniel Golden Jr.
Yeah.
I hear it. When I be about to do something dumb, my mama called me Paul. I hear Paul. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, we ain't doing that one.
Son, what's wrong with you? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's
That's real. That's real. And some people don't got parents that did that for them though.
They don't. This is why I tell y'all to stop being bums and raise your kids.
That's facts. It's important. Now, real talk. It's important.
For your kids to be out here crashing cars in the walls trying to rob other ladies.
And this segues perfectly into why you guys need to strategically disengage and meditate and remember why you do what you do. I mean, guys, life can be very stressful. It could be heavy. But remember why you're on this planet. Remember why you do what you do. And if you don't have a why, dig deep, meditate, talk to God, talk to whoever you talk to, read the book, The Good Word. Got a lot of spiritual codes and ethics that you can build on. But, we have to be better people so that we're not putting other people at risk, putting our family at risk, and we can have a better life ourselves. So what y'all got for the people, man, in closing? Yeah.
Hey, hey, always stand on your own 2 feet, and if nothing else, sell them.
Wow.
Oh, that was good.
That was actually pretty good.
That was
I
good.
gotta
That
give
was
you your
good.
props.
I gotta give you a props for that one. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Follow
Like-
the Be Like OnlyFans page. We're not showing feet.
Yeah, we ain't showing feet. We ain't showing feet. Be like OnlyFans. We'll get that going.
I mean, I guess and the market's that's kind of good. In summary, just do your best to be smart, and if you don't know, try
Now
to
you
learn.
know.
If you don't know, now you know. No, if you don't know, try to learn. There's so many avenues, so many resources you can use these days to figure it out. So at least try. I mean, I know some things on the internet are not true, but try to find the right source, try to figure it out, try to learn, because then you won't be so ignorant. Ignorance is not a bad thing, you know. We all ignorant, like Carrie said, but the more you know, less ignorant you are. So
Just stop and think, man. That's always the thing. Stop and think. Simple.
Send this podcast to 5 friends that don't think much. Send this podcast to 5 kids that don't got anybody in their life. Send this podcast to 5 people that's doing pretty well, but maybe they could benefit from the conversation. Like and subscribe as always.
If
Be
your
Like
book needs a
Podcast.
name, just hear me saying, "Don't be an idiot."
if it needs a name, Nate is that guy.
Nate is that guy. And we out.